This is your daily market review for Monday, March 27, 2023. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Monday, March 27th, 2023. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Got a lot to talk about. If you watched the weekend market review, you saw the weekly, monthly charts, what they're looking like, some of the pin action, what to expect going into the end of the month, end of the quarter. As we all know, this is window dressing, potentially lock-in as well, depending on what the market does. On that note, let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about. Grab some coffee, get comfortable. If you're new to the channel and you want to join the Discord room, link is in the description below. Hit me up. If you want to follow, posting on Twitter consistently with what we're up to, paying attention, even if you're not a Discord member, definitely well worth it. Checking out some of the interesting things that are going on in the world that I think a lot of you guys and gals out there would appreciate. Again, it's a tricky market. Noise. That's the key here, right? The key is to what? Get people to do the wrong things. Take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. This is how this works. If you're not familiar, well, there's a lot to learn. And if you want to learn, here you go. Watch the Back to Basics videos. Again, there's 52 of them. I would watch this one. A lot of people asking questions, talking, and I'm just a little confused. Like, I don't think they're paying attention to this, but that's fine. You got to learn eventually that there are repeating tendencies. There's parts of the market that repeat seasonally and calendar-wise. We'll see what happens here. Also, too, if you are checking out the Back to Basics, check out the website. Link is in the description below. It also includes the Back to Basics in a format that's from beginning to more advanced videos. On that note, let's go check out the Fed funds futures FedWatch tool. Where are we at for the next meeting? It keeps facilitating all over the place. It's volatile. Now you're getting a rate hike potentially. Is that because of oil? Question mark. Is tech gonna like that? Interest rates are getting a little squirrely. Keep an eye on this. Again, save this link if you're not familiar. This is what is showing you what the Feds are potentially going to do. They don't like to surprise the market. They don't like to disappoint the market. When they do, markets don't react well, and typically they don't. And I can't even remember the last time the market's surprised with the odds. If it's 63% or more going into the FOMC meeting, they've done what the expectations were. Now, keep in mind, the next FOMC meeting is not for a while. It's obviously May 3rd, so these numbers are going to change a ton, a lot. I was about to swear, but they're going to move a lot. Bitcoin, man, hitting resistance. Wide and loose, this broadening pattern. Where is money going? Good question. A lot of people chasing into gold, Bitcoin. It's tough to know. It is tough to know. Be safe, manage your risk. Now, again, personally think that the Feds are screwed. We've talked about that. They're in a pickle, right? They have inflation to deal with, but they also have, what? A recession, potentially. Higher unemployment. Well, the problem is that if they should have raised more aggressively in the past to stamp out inflation. Well, they haven't done that. So if they don't raise more, they're kind of stuck. And you're getting into this repeating pattern where, they're trying to keep credibility by raising rates. Well, the market wants them to raise rates, but what do? If you lower rates and inflation continues to ratchet and sustain, they're in a pickle. So how's that affect Bitcoin, gold, crypto market? Again, be careful. Remember, they can throw the baby out with the bathwater if the VIX explodes and the market gets into what? Just selling off. Interesting action in oil market. Now, this can't be happy days for the Feds. You're coming into resistance in the mid-70s, but oil just popped a decent amount, right? 10% plus, right? Go 65, 73. That is not ideal. The Feds want to see oil what? Fall. They want it to drop. They want input prices to drop. Natural gas, on the other hand, I don't know why my charts did not save. As I've said before, I think we're in a choppy, sloppy consolidation period. People don't like to hear that because they're like, I think natural gas is going to the moon. Now, if you're a long-term player, does it make sense filling this gap, buying it down here? I can't argue that. We say, wait for the retest. Love the retest, right? That would be a retest. Now you have a reference. That's all I can really say there, right? That is really all you can say there. So, if you have any questions, a little confused, not sure, Just be careful. UNG deteriorates. That's all I can really say on that, because a lot of people are going to go, oh, so we'll go buy the UNG. And it's like, The dollar. Recording this in the last minute or two of the market. At the range channel lows. If you're not familiar with this channel, it's a big one. It's a biggie. Now, again, I had a box on it and it didn't save. It's a pretty tight channel, right? Right? We're in this, in this little spot where I particularly think it's tough to know. I think the dollar could go higher. It could rip the pants off of shorts, but it also could go lower because the bricks are dumping it. Does it just chop out? That might be the big question, easy answer. I don't know. Personally, watching it, but not as, hawkish or bullish. I'm more of just watching for volatility in the dollar. I know that's not the answer probably people want, but that's what I'm watching for. If the dollar just kind of gets stable here, it doesn't really tell me much. If the dollar starts moving in big directions, now you're going to have increased volatility. The market will pick up. TLT, red alert. That's a big gap. That is a big gap. The Fed's in higher rates? Inflation? I don't know. Here we go. Volatility, I said it's in a choppy mess. Literally 109, 104s. You're in it. If it breaks below, are the markets going to like higher interest rates? Probably not, y'all. Keep that in mind. Especially tech. Especially tech. Keep in mind. Especially tech. So the action closing at the lows on a gap down, that's not bullish, y'all. The VIX. Interesting action, right? Holding the 50-day. If you want, there's a little baby trend here. How you want to draw it, I guess. Are we retest it? No. Again, these are big candles. These are big VIX candles. Go look to the left. These are big VIX candles. Something is cooking. Something is off. And I mean off with the market, like in the consolidation phase. Higher prices, higher volatility, consolidating to go higher. I mean, if this was a stock, you'd probably say pop, retest, chop, rank, make higher lows. Could it go higher? Now, again, if you're newer to the channel and you're like, well, what's the long term, Dan? Well, I say this over and over and over in almost every video. I don't believe the bear market's over with the VIX and the 38s. I don't care if you're a guru stock investor, whatever. I have not seen a market bottom with the VIX and the 30s. This is we're not in this small time cookies issue. We're not in what I consider to be normal times. Like, we got bank problems. We got issues in Europe. We got never ending, what seems like Cold War, but with tanks, with ammunition, with bullets flying in Europe. We've got issues abroad everywhere. Supply constraints, you name it. We're not done. We're just not done. But does that mean it has to go up tomorrow? No. Somebody will argue, I got to go all in puts today. Okay, well, maybe today is the day. I wish you luck. I wish you luck, Grandmaster, with such. So, SPY. I talked about this on the weekend recap. We're stuck in this Fed day range. This is the range you need to watch. We need to see a close below the 391, 392, 200-day, whatever. Or you need to get above 399 and close above it, 50-day. Put that in your book, because the Fed day is an important day. Like, it's the day of the max pain, clearly. And we can't break below it and sustain, and we can't break above it. Today's gap up, closing back low again, volume's low, not surprised by profit taking. Not surprised at all. I mean, if you own the market for the quarter, you're literally back to even. Small up. With everything that's going on, it feels like a big win. I don't think I'd want to hold through it, but that's just me. QQQs. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because the QQQs keep hitting Viva la Resistance. This resistance zone up here, right? A lot of people aren't paying attention to it. They don't ever zoom out. They go, well, it's just making higher highs and higher lows. Well, I mean, you could argue down here it made lower lows and lower. And then I remember the bears going, we have to break out. We're breaking down. Game over. Remember, we were like, I think this is bullish, y'all. Zing, kapow. Obviously, we didn't trade. Again, did not get anywhere close to the whole move. Not going to sit here and play revisionist history. Go watch previous videos. We were bullish, but, we didn't take the whole move, sadly enough. But here it did. Peaked on, 2.2, 2.3. Now up here, Everybody's bullish. The bears are bulls. The bears are bullish. Bulls are just like, hey man, if the market can't go down now, it's not ever going down. That doesn't really look bullish to me. I'm sorry. That Fed Day candle is not bullish to me. But since we're chopping around, well, guess what? Now people are confused. People are starting to give up on the bearish action. Or not bearish. I'm just starting to get bearish. They just can't. They're going, oh, I guess it's holding up. Keep an eye on it. IWM. Doji on this gap up today. As we've talked about, watch for lagging. Would you consider this lagging? I think so. I consider it such. I think it's acting terribly. Terrible, as Mr. Barkley would say. Terrible. All right, well, you gap up today and you doji. Is that really good? I don't know. Last time it did that, it went near the lows. Not looking so hot. You know, at Hansel, not so hot right now. Dia pops up. 20-day, 200-day, chopping. Can't get over it. This is the problem here, as we've talked about and referenced before. If the DIA is below the December lows into the new year in the first quarter, it's typically not bullish. We'll see what happens here. Keep an eye on it. Good old gold. Told y'all, be careful up here. Now you're hitting the 2000 level. We gapped down today. Still long-term very bullish. Like longer, like I'm talking about, like if I closed my eyes and woke up a year from now, Van Winkle, I would, yes, bullish. Put a gun to my head. Near term, tough. Very tough. Very tough. I don't like the gap and trap action up here. And now this gap down. Could this be the start of the move? Because gold's notorious for this, starting the gaps, right? Silver, you know, this thing has been hit the 0.618. Nothing. Just doesn't look amazing. GDX, flat. Not bad today if you're a gold miner bull. Just beware. This could be a pivot point. Lower highs, lower lows. Because if this was red, you'd be going, oh, that's game over. But then people, I go, well, watch. Oops, excuse my language there. You didn't see that. This is the show me the money zone. This area has always mattered. This area matters, right? Like that's the song and dance that I'm trying to make people aware of. Like this area matters. So if you look at the action, you tell me. You really want to be aggressively long miners here? Remember, we've showed you what can happen. If you don't remember, right? Miners can get flushed. When the market's sold, because again, credit crunch, market, liquidity, all these things come into play. And so if you're not familiar, just be careful. Again, I could show you on the monthly, but all right, I'll do it again. I just feel like I'm rambling here, but here you go. COVID. I mean, none of it made sense, but they just absolutely took the miners out to the woodshed and beat the crap out of them. Could that happen again? Again, remember, they're not very well-run companies. Now, if you believe in gold going higher long-term, then yes, and gold holds up, then they probably should. But if gold pulls back and the market pulls back, miners will get shredded. They always do. GDXJ holding up, chopping, coming in the backside of this little baby trend line, and another major resistance zone. Keep an eye on it. AG, kind of a big fan of them telling the market to screw off and we're going to cut our production and just kind of wait this out. I mean, the monthly trend line, there's some down here. We'll see. I would wait. I mean, but I could be wrong. I mean, I just have this in my mind that I don't want to chase here. I mean, going long anything right now just seems incredibly scary. And when I say scary, meaning it doesn't seem like the right thing to do. Sorry, that's not the answer you want to hear. Well, tough cookies. I don't know what to tell you because at this point, if you have in your mind that you have to do something, go long. Well, again, I'd like to see the VIX spike massively before I recommend people going all in back into the market. Remember, when the fear is at the highest, that's when we'll get the most involved. But at this point, okay, you do that, all right? I don't know. It's just hard. AEM, I mean, I like these names. They look way better than some of the other names in the market, right? Just, I don't like this zone. If it gets stuck here at the 0.618, not so hot right now. Again, PAAS holding up again. I mean, sorry, Newmont down today slightly. Should have been up, right? I don't know, chopping at the 100-day cross. Newmont's gotten crushed before. PAAS. Man, all these names. I might be wrong on them, but I'd rather be late than early on these names. Again, because I think there's opportunity cost here. Do you want a short tech? Or do you want to go long minors? Now, that's your preference. I'd prefer shorting tech because I think it's going to be a wreck. That's what tech does. It gets wrecked when it's, again, who wins the tech war? Not tech. It's the bullets, the inputs. Inflation is coming. I think it's going to sustain because the feds are a bunch of what? Softies. They're not going to do what they have to do to kill tech, right? They're not going to do it. I personally don't think they will. That's just is what it is. Keep an eye on this. Coming up here, AMD loves to blow off. Loves to blow off and chop. Could this be this kind of ride the lightning third time? Again, I'm not short AMD, but I am short semiconductors. Taiwan Semi. A lower high gets what? Gets close enough for government work into this range. Said I thought this was the top. Well, I'm sorry. There's another doji. Looking pretty good. Below the Fed day lows. Things that aren't bullish, right? Keep an eye on this. Micron has earnings tomorrow. God, man, this thing has been an absolute trash. If you look out on the monthly, you'll just laugh at it. You go, okay, well, you're coming back into this major 60 area, but it's broken the primary trend line. Uh-oh. Retro raggy. Keep an eye on it, right? Good old NVIDIA. Everybody loves it at the highs. Stupid is, stupid does. Now, stupid is shorting and getting stuck and not taking your losses. But at this point, I mean, it's trading at nosebleed valuations, which again, market stocks can do that for long. They can be irrational. No one's going to deny that. But here's the bigger picture, though, right? Is like, this feels very distributive here, but you made new highs. But now you've had a lot of indecision at the highs with decent volume, right? That feels like a distributive day to me. And then a novice gap. We'll see what happens here. Again, everybody loves it. Intel, we talked about watching this just because it's a piece of junk. Hits the 200-day, backs off, lower highs. Semiconductors, MESFT, hits the 0.618 again. Xavier SM, if you're listening, I'll give you credit. You're the only one who said 260, and I did not give you as much credit as I should have before, but you were dead on right, my friend. Novice gap, making lower lows. We're closing right at the Fed day lows. Things that don't look bullish. Adobe, another Goldman Sachs upgrade at the highs. Gotta fade it. Fader. Here you go. This one's tough. It's kind of sitting between some zones. I don't know what I would, again, I'm not shorting Adobes, but just watching it for the tech wreck to come. Apple. Wow. Trapped bull zone. Breaks out. Gets up on the Fed day. That's pointing down. Chops for 3 days, but it's bullish. Okay, we'll see. Amazon hits the 100 area. Hits the box of pain. The box of pain. Old pain box. Backing off. Keep an eye on it. CRM holding up. I think they, again, stuck in the box. Is this an M? Pretend there's a line there. Keep an eye on it. Guggenheim got above the trend line. Oops, below the Fed day. Tech not looking so hot, friends. We'll see. Good old Meta. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Banning TikTok because TikTok is eating their lunch. Well, a lot of people seem to be coming out of the woodworks thinking, Meta's going to 250. Meta's going higher. It's going... Okay, well, again, please zoom the hell out. If you're trolling on the internet, watch the video. Monthly. I doubt we're going to... you go straight line move from 90 up to 202. No sellers, I bet. I bet that's going to 250. Okie dokie. Microsoft, J-Man. What up, brother? Nice short up here. Again, here's the Fed day range. Man, look at that thing. Just topping. Seen that before. Watch for the pro gap at some point. Got the cat in the lap. That's loud. You are way too purry. NDAQ, as we've talked about. Trash. Why? Well, tech. The exchange that trades all the volume for tech is what? Who wins the tech war? Clearly not tech. It's topped. It's done. It's Danunsky. Keep an eye on it. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin volatility. Well, MicroStrategy is the recipient of such. Making lower lows. Made a lower high. That doesn't look bullish. Netflix. Hey, somebody. Who's it? RJM. Congrats. We were talking about the 50-day today. Oops. Doji at the highs after a decent run. 293 up to 335, 36, something like that. Keep an eye on it. Roblox cannot get over the 44, 45 area. 46, whatever this. Upper, mid 40s. Oops. Is this an M? Keep an eye on it. Tesla was up today in the morning. Closes at the low of the day. Lows of the day. Lower-ish of the days. Again, just can't seem to get anything going. Watch the 20-day. If it gets under 20-day, the dam breaks. Good old commodities. Let's take a look at them. Up a little bit today, as they should. Doji. Keep an eye on it. Nucor. Chopping under the 100-day. Again, all these names got absolutely blasted. 179 down to 139. Due for a bounce. Makes sense. Caterpillar, as we talked about, Caterpillar leading the way. Talked about it. That was the professional gap. Really wanted to touch it. Good. Man, holding and hovering the lows, that's not global economic bullishness. VALE, same kind of thing. Look at these names. At the 200-day, looks like it's about to fall. Keep an eye on it. Copper, Arrow. I like this name. Shoulder line, 0.382. I don't know. Keep an eye on this. One's acting better. CCJ, again, somebody, I can't remember who it was, who wants to buy it. I mean, I would just wait. I think I know dead cat bounce if you traded it. Congrats, but I would not be sitting here holding it like it's on the runway to go somewhere. Aaron, back at support. Really want to see it fill its gap, but again, it's one of those things where please zoom out. Look at this monthly. Is this a dead cat bounce? Like if this is a daily, you'd be like, oh, that looks bearish. Oh, man, I hope it comes back into the teens. I'd love to see this thing as a teenager. Love it. Would love it, right? CF, material. Again, are these names bottoming? Sold to end the quarter and the month. Man, extreme. I don't want to pick the bottom on these, but this could be the bottom that I'd like to see a retest on. Again, especially if commodities blast off and the feds are screwed. Mosaic, same thing. Bottoming down, retesting. I don't know. I'd love to see it down here in the 37s. Again, if you pull up the monthly, you'd be like, I don't know if I trust that. Because, again, it's like, do. And, again, maybe we come back down to 31. You don't know. NTI. Here you go. Keep an eye on it, right? Support. Again, another one of those you've looked at the monthly, go, that doesn't look amazing. XLF, hey, it bounced today. Congrats, banking's safe. Everything's great. Gap up, hammer. Just chopping. Again, as we like to show, again, the monthlies just seem so important as you go into the month. Look at this. If this was a daily chart, you'd be going, oh, man, that's screwed. Better hold the 50 month. Better hold the 50 month. Yikes. JP Morgan. All the deposits are going to Chase. Okay. Interesting action down here. Gaps down, holds the 200-day, chopping around. Couldn't get over Thursday. Might have a multi-day range. Morgan Stanley. But nothing. Look at that. Gaps up, sells. I'm telling you, financials not as hot as they look or trying to be perceived. Goldman Sachs, same kind of thing. Just gaps up. Doji. Nobody interested as the day goes on. When you zoom out, again, same kind of thing. You'd be going, you're like, this looks like a dead cat bounce. And again, this is why I love to zoom out, because look at this action. I mean, I don't know. You draw the box like that. I mean, it's pretty crazy how wide. Again, the box might be too wide for your comfort. But again, if this is a daily chart and this was like a $1 or $2 range, you'd be like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Beavis. Yeah. You'd be like, short it. But monthly takes months, takes action, takes time. Are we about to hit the skidders? Keep an eye on it. XBI. I don't know why people are getting bullish on this, but that's what they do. It's at the lows. Look at the monthly. It doesn't really look so hot. It's a dead cat bounce. At worst, you're probably coming back down to what? Low 60s, but I see people on the internet saying it's a buy. I get it. It's oversold. Doesn't really look that great. Trying to get back into the previous box of safety, which is now looking like a dead cat bounce. Remember talking about like that break down, pop, break below it, retest, stair step lower in time. Keep an eye on it. Solar. Oh, I got to move faster. Dying. We talked about this big green candle. Here it is, chopping, multi-day range. Watch the 72 levels. ENPH, guys know, nothing. It's dead. Dead. Chopping, nothing. Sedge. Dead. Look at that candle. Now it's just, again, chopping around. First Solar, awesome job retesting or making a lower high. Look at that thing. Okay, see what happens around here. HYG, kind of always paying attention to this in the background. It's not looking too good, folks. You break the 72s. Corporate junk debt. Let's end it with the oil. The oil. Nice pop-up today, right? Nat gas, as we reviewed. Please, UNG just is so harsh. Be careful if you do. Maybe
I don't know if it bought. I don't know. I'm trying to like sell puts maybe, and if you, I don't know the best strategy on this. I hate deteriorating ETFs going long and they don't work because they're just like bleeding you out. XOP. This is an interesting area. 123, 124. Right. Keep an eye on it. ExxonMobil. Everybody's favorite. Breaks out on the monthly, backs up. It's in a trading range. I'd be watching the 20-day. If it gets over it, that would probably be bullish. But you got to close over it. Occidental. Buffett's buying more. We get it. Chopping. You've got a choppy range down here. Keep an eye on it. PXD, my opinion, tough. Tough. I mean, there's resistance here around the upper 190s. Be safe on it, right? EQT, bleh. Stock is dead money, in my opinion. Waiting, chopping. Maybe if it gets bought out, maybe. But if it gets bought out and you need someone to manage their natural gas future exposure, love to take over. It'd be so easy. I could do it for 5 minutes a day, but you're going to have to pay me 6 figures. Flex LNG, let's end it here. Again, chopping. We like this name long-term when we start exporting cheap natural gas. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, right? But I'd love to see it down here, maybe even down here if the market gets slapped. So, if you have any questions, reach out. Love to help. Please be safe out there. If you're not sure, don't over leverage. Now people would say, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm pretty leverage heavy short on tech. Let's just call it what it is. Spade a spade. I am incredibly heavy short on tech. I think it's a great opportunity. Define my risk. Well, if I'm wrong, it's going to be probably not, well, it's not probably, it's not going to be enjoyable to be wrong, but it seems like the best bet out there. If you have any questions, please reach out. And again, if you're thinking about real estate stuff and you're trying to middle the interest rates, potentially a market smash, holler at your friend here. Because again, the key is the what? Be prepared. You're just not going to make a phone call and buy a house in the same day. Remember, you got to get qualified. You got to talk to a lender. You got to make sure you get pre-approval letter. You got to run some numbers. You probably need to figure out what area you're looking at. Okay, well, how much is the price points? What are the rents? You got to do the homework to be prepared. Just like in trading, you don't just show up and win. All right, I'm out. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.